Hi guys, thank you for joining me back here again on the channel. In this video, I'm going to be spending a solo night hammock camping in one of the UK's most notorious hotspots for strange phenomena. Without further ado guys, please do kick back, relax and enjoy. So I think the first point of call is to get in these woods and get the tarp up as quick as possible, because although the morning has started out quite bright, quite sunny, it does look like it's going to rain. So yeah, it's quickly changing. I just want to get the tarp up and the hammock, and then we can move out from there and explore a little bit further.
Our attention was caught by something moving in the woods, and so it was like a side profile of a large man. I remember looking at this thing, and the weirdest thing about the whole situation is how it was moving. It was like it was on like a treadmill. Like it was just sitting there, and it was like an escalator, like you go to those airports where you can like stand and the escalator will just take you. And so it was basically gliding across in the deep woods, and it was inset 10 to 15 feet approximately into the woods. So I could just see a black, large man size profile just basically gliding across the ground into the woods. There was no arm movement. There was no, it was very unnatural.
So that's the hammock setup. I am in a new forest today, so I've never explored this part of the North Yorkshire Moors before, which is exciting. It's always nice to get out into new areas and just, wander off, see what you can find, which is what I intend to do tonight. Obviously, this place will become a different world entirely once nightfall comes, which makes it all that more exciting. But right now I'm just going to get Lily off the lead. She can have a run around for a bit, and then I'm going to get off into the woods and do some filming for you guys, because I really want to share these stories with you that I've been getting recently, because some of them are completely mind-blowing. While I'm just sitting here guys, I'm going to share a story with you that came in, a really fascinating one, and it shares a lot of similarities to stories that I've heard previously along these same lines. So I can't remember if these two guys asked to remain anonymous in the email. It's irrelevant, but the crux of the story is this. So two guys, 18, 19 years old, height of summer, I'm not sure what year this was here in the UK, doing an overnight beach camp. Beautiful night, really warm. They had the beach to themselves, messing around, having a few drinks, whatever. And they see this light out at sea, and they both get into this back and forth debate as to whether or not it's a boat. That is quickly debunked when this light starts not only to change colour, but to move very sporadically left and right, making sharp right angle turns. And they soon realise that it's not actually even in the water, but above the water. So one of the guys has this high power torch, and he narrows the beam down. It's one of those ones where you can adjust the beam from either a floodlight type or to a narrow beam. He does this, shines it on the object, and within fractions of seconds, this light is now at the point where water meets sand, like at the edge of the beach. They didn't see this thing travel the distance that it required to get to this point. It was just boom, instantaneously at the edge of the beach. They were like freaked out, thinking, what the hell? How did that even get from out there at sea to the edge of the beach, which is only 50 meters away from where we are, in that space of time, without us seeing it make that journey? The weirdest part is what comes next. So they don't remember having a conversation about this event. They just wake up the next morning, their head is throbbing, massive headache, and they're trying to be logical as possible. They're trying to put this down to maybe it was the beers that we drunk, maybe we had more than we thought, maybe we're dehydrated, who knows, with the heat, who knows. But they don't remember getting into their tent. They don't remember having some in-depth conversation about this weird light. It was kind of just out at sea, he shines the torch, it's there at the edge of the beach where water meets sand, and then they wake up the next morning completely oblivious of the hours that passed in between. And this made me laugh a little bit when I was reading this story, because I think a lot of the times, especially with the UFO phenomena, we hear people talking about love and light. It's all love and light. You know, this is something that Steve Merritt talks about massively. We like to romanticize things. We like to romanticize the idea that these super intelligent beings are coming from somewhere else to lead us down the right path and have our best interests at heart. And I'm not saying that they don't, because there definitely will be species out there that do live by that code of conduct, but there are probably far more out there that either don't have our best interests at heart or just simply don't care either way. But my take on it is this, right? If you're hanging out with someone, let's just say this little alien crew of 5 rocked up at the edge of the beach, abducted these 2 guys, 18 and 19 years old, for whatever reason. If I'm hanging out with someone and we're friends, there is never a time when they should need to make me forget. Like that, I'd be concerned if I was hanging out with a dude and, you know, I thought, wow, this is a nice guy, we're having a good time, chilled vibes. But then for whatever reason during this little interaction, he has to make me forget what's happened that night. Like, that's not cool. That's weird. But yet this seems to happen quite a lot, especially with the extraterrestrial abduction phenomena. Missing time and huge blanks in memory where people just forget. Like, it happened to me as well. A lot of you here know my story and what led me onto this journey of trying to discover answers or find out the truth, or even if I could have my own experience again a second time, you know. That's what happened to me. I forgot for a long time, for years. I totally forgot my encounter, and then it all came flooding back to me, as I've mentioned many times before here on the channel, when I was about late 20s, early 30s, at work, and it just flooded back to me. So, but yeah, going back to my original point, if there's ever a time that you're hanging out with someone and things are going well, but they have to make you forget by giving you a supplement or some kind of sedative, that's not a cool person. That's not a nice experience. That's a weird interaction between 2 beings that should never take place. So for any of you that say it's all love and light, I don't doubt that there is some love and light, but it's not all love and light. What do you want from me, man? What do you want from me? That's weird, because you guys can't actually see Lily in this shot, so it just looks like I'm talking randomly to myself. I can assure you, there is a dog there, making me look like a right fool. Come into the shot, please. Just come into the shot so people can see you and know that I'm not crazy. Come on. There. You're still not in the shot. There you are. Right, we're there. I'm pretty sure people want to see you more anyway. Where are you? There you are. Oh, see you then. Should have stirred it. So anyway, Lil, tell me about your day. How's your day been? You been up to much? Seen anything strange out there in the woods? No? Like that. I'm getting a new camera soon. If anybody's already got this camera, I'd love to hear a bit more about it. It should be turning up in the next few days. It's the DJI Hero 5, which is an action camera. Never really spent much time with action cameras before. I mean, I have had a GoPro, but I was never keen on the GoPros. They were always a bit unpredictable, unreliable, and especially in cold weather, which is where I spend most of my time, the batteries just sucked. Like, they would die the minute it got cold. And they let me down so many times while out filming. I was never impressed with the audio either, so yeah, just kind of, it put me off getting an action camera. But the DJI brand, I've always held them in high regards, because I've had their drones and they're absolutely amazing. Gimbals, things like that. Brilliant products. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the Hero 5, and hopefully it will add a different dynamic to the videos. So one of the things that I want to do moving forward with the channel is introduce this new idea, and hopefully you guys will receive this really well. But I do like the idea of having this thing called Wilderness Files, where I get out and there will be some bushcraft, there will be some, you know, footage of me building a shelter from nothing and then spending multiple days out in these areas. I do like that, alongside the creepy stories as well. But if I create this new playlist or this new series of videos called The Wilderness Files, you guys will see me, you know, for the 2 days, for the 3 days that I'm out here doing everything that I do, whether it be creating a fire in the rain, building a shelter from sticks, you know, and just being downright miserable at times. You're going to see all of that. And in there amongst it will be the stories of creepy stuff and any strange happenings that may occur. So hopefully you guys will take to that and be on board. But it is going to make the videos hopefully longer and a bit more immersive. I've spoke about this before, right? And it's a YouTube thing, it's a creative thing. And a lot of you here might be able to relate to this. Whenever you've taken time away from whatever craft it is that you do, painting, music, dancing, it's hard to get back into it. Not because you don't want to, not because you don't love the craft or what it is that you do, but you just doubt yourself so much on the comeback, and there's really no need. And I've been doing that a lot lately. And this morning I woke up and there was this saying in my head. I'm not sure where it came from. Call it the ether, call it the universe, sending me some kind of divine message to give me the kick up the arse that I needed. But I woke up and I was thinking, filming is basically just paying attention, but with a camera in your hand. And when I simplified it like that, I was like, wow, that is really true. That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting out with a camera and I'm paying attention. That's it. Filming is just paying attention, but with a camera in your hand. That's all I'm doing. Sometimes I think that I like to overthink things. Well, I'm saying that like, you know, it's on the fence whether I do or I don't. I definitely overthink things. But yeah, that little mantra that somehow popped into my brain this morning really helped, because now I'm just getting through the woods and I'm talking. I don't really care, you know, if it's flashy or if it's cinematic. It is what it is. I'm just documenting what I see. I'm just paying attention to things around me. And I'm basically like the translator, right? Between what is here, this world, and your world where you are. Like, you guys can't see what I see. You guys can't feel what I feel. So I have to translate the emotion using my camera. And when you think of it like that, and you break it down to its simplest form, that's basically what it is. I'm just a translator between worlds. I should have a name. I should have like a badge that I wear, like a sheriff's badge. That'd be cool. What would that even be? Translator between worlds. TBW. Oh no, that sounds like some kind of sexual thing. Hey TBW, how you doing, loser? Hang on though, BW is my surname, right? I mean my initials. I don't know what the T would be. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent. Isn't that worse when you head out to explore and you realise that you've left your chair and your tripod back at camp? You see, this is why another good reason for getting the action camera will be... What the hell was that? Out of all the places I've come to explore in my life, the North Yorkshire Moors provides the weirdest sounds you've ever heard. In fact, I was back up here a few weeks back and I heard something creepy as hell. If I've got the footage, still, the video never came to light. I don't know why. Something happened with storage, I think, or there was some technical issue where I had to start deleting a load of things. So the video never got wrapped up, but I kept the important footage, which was the sounds that I picked up. And if I can find them throughout my album right now, I'll paste them in on this video so you guys can hear it right now. What is that? Over the years, people have asked me about like tree structures and what I think of tree structures. Do I believe that they are made by some kind of interdimensional cryptid or undiscovered creature? Maybe they're used for some kind of navigational purposes, so these creatures can find their way around or find their way back to a point of interest. Who knows? And I must admit, I have seen some very strange tree structures, things that like stop you in your tracks and you're like, wow, what the hell? How has that happened? But you've got to remember something, and this isn't me debunking tree structures at all. It's just another way of looking at things so that we are quite balanced in our approach. The human brain wants things to be logical. It wants to think in a logical way. Out here in the woods, nothing is logical. Like, it doesn't work on the same way that our brain does. Trees can fall in very random and peculiar ways, and roots can twist and turn and contort in even weirder ways. Like, you know, I've seen things that don't look natural because they're so intricate or they're so patterned in a way that you think it must be done by intelligence. It doesn't always work that way. And I'm not saying this to debunk tree structures whatsoever. I'm just saying that as humans, we want to think logically. We want things to work in a logical manner. Out here in nature, it doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care about being logical. It doesn't care about patterns. It doesn't care about formation, or, you know, the tree doesn't think about which way it should land or how it should turn, or it just does it. And sometimes when trees fall enough times, they do land in very weird places and formations. So yeah, I do believe that something would or could use tree structures, but do I believe that they're all done by some weird cryptid out there in the woods? Absolutely not. If you are a cryptid guy or a girl and you like to get out in your spare time to try and find tracks and things, this is where you should be looking. Places like this. Now, you're going to clearly find signs of most wildlife in this area: badgers, deers, foxes. But you never know. You never know. There is always that chance that you could find something that's not of this area or shouldn't be of this area. And then you know to get a game camera up, you know to bring out other bits of equipment and really honing on this area. But when you're doing that, you kind of want to make your footprint as small as possible. You don't want to be dragging too much in. You don't want to be leaving a scent behind that shows anything of intelligence that you've been in this area. So you need to do it few and far between, and each trip bring whatever you need to do, whatever you need to bring in with you. So yeah, it's hard work trying to do this kind of stuff, but it's fun. Do you know when your dog like looks at you weird? Freaks me out. It's like, why is she staring like contently into my eyes, like deeply, like she can smell there's something wrong with me. Maybe I've got a disease and she knows, but she can't say. And she's like smelling it and thinking, oh boy, shit's gonna get rough for you. Why do I think like this? I'm like, stop looking at me, Lil. Bless her. She's just a starey dog. So, I should have done this a while back, but life took over and there's been a lot of things going on, a lot of things changing in my life, so I never got around to doing it, but I will do it now because this is important to me. Don't know what that song is about, but it smells beautiful. It smells like incense sticks. And I'm showing you this because this is a beautiful flute bag, which must mean one thing: there's a beautiful flute inside. So this isn't a paid review. This is not. This is a collaboration. I paid money for this flute at a discounted rate to show you guys it, because you guys have been asking me a hell of a lot of questions about the flute, and you really enjoy these segments of the video. So this flute, all right, that looks a bit disgusting, but bear with me. Is from a company called Red Kite Flutes. This is their logo there. Don't know if you can zoom in. Red Kite Flutes. It's got my own personalised gemstone, and it's in the frequency of 432 hertz, which we've spoken about before here on the channel, and I've mentioned how that has many different healing properties. You know, a lot of sound baths and healing meditation centers that you go to will play this frequency because it was used by the Egyptians and a lot of other cultures before them. Made of old English ash. It smells beautiful, it feels beautiful, and it sounds even better. And yeah, do check the company out, Red Kite Flutes. Handmade, you know, this hasn't rolled off a conveyor belt. They're not mass producing these. And every flute you could literally say is unique because it's made from different, whatever tree you choose. I mean, they've got oak on there, I think. They've got some really nice, rich sounding instruments, depending on what wood you decide to go with. But this is old English ash. Oh man, I just can't stop smelling it, which makes me look weird. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna shut up and play it.
Your listeners could picture this. It's a huge rectangle. This is a big hayfield, 35-acre hayfield. And we stopped, and as soon as Dominic, it was me, Dominic, Ellen, and Ellen's son, Scott. Dominic gets off of the four-wheeler and immediately says, "What the hell is that?" And he looks up, and we all look up, and here there's a solid orb of light going over the field, very slow. You could see other planes around it. And we're just dumbfounded. We're like looking at this thing like, what is this? What are we looking at? And it's totally silent. And as it's going over the field, it's going over, it makes a 45-degree angle and blinks out, totally disappears. Was sitting there looking at the sky still, when all of a sudden we hear a howl way in the distance, really long in the distance. And then we hear another one really close by.
So this is one of the beautiful things about having this microphone, is that I can detach myself from the camera. I can walk quite a distance away and I can still share my thoughts with you guys as I'm exploring and investigating. Now I don't have to really raise the pitch or volume of my voice either, which is nice. This microphone does a really good job of picking up my thoughts and my voice quite clearly. It's got a muffler on the top of the mic as well, which is magnetised to my coat, so any wind should be minimal. I was thinking about certain aspects of the extraterrestrial phenomena at the point of contact, and I'm not talking about UFOs at this point. I'm talking extraterrestrial physical beings that come into interaction with humans. Now, something I've heard, well, two things I've heard a lot of lately, is this face. People have been with friends at the time of one of these experiences or these encounters. They say that when they look at their friend's face, maybe it's their friend that's seen this creature first. What the hell? Jesus. Lily, come. Lily, come. Did you guys see that? What the hell? A rabbit just literally ran. I thought it was Lily at first. Nearly jumped into my lap. What the hell? Jesus. Lily, come. Yeah, sorry guys. This face that I'm talking about right now, like I've said, it could be two friends out on a hike, maybe they're out camping, and one of the friends sees something off in the distance that the other friend doesn't see. Now, the friend that didn't see the being off in the woods or wherever, when they look at their friend after the sighting, they say that their face is frozen in fear. Now, this would be absolutely terrifying, right? Their face, their jaw is oddly open at a level that shouldn't even be possible. It's like their face is melted and just drooped down. They look like the Scream mask, the movie Scream. They look like that kind of face, frozen in fear. And usually after this encounter, when that happens, both parties end up having a period of missing time, or some kind of an abduction scenario follows soon after. That is one thing that I hear a lot of, this frozen in fear type face that is abnormally contorted, like distorted. The next thing, and a lot of you might have heard this as well, is walking or running without touching the ground. A lot of people that see these creatures claim that they look like they're on an escalator. When you go to the airport and you stand on those escalators and they move you along really, really quickly without you actually even walking. Now, you can walk on them and they'll still move you along really, really quickly, but it's a weird motion and it doesn't look natural. Now, imagine seeing something do that in the woods, in the thick, dense woods between the trees. Because people have seen Bigfoot, people have seen these extraterrestrial beings claim that that is how these creatures move. It's almost like gliding along the floor, through the trees, at high speed. Can you imagine trying to evade something that can move with that much ease? Without any restriction, without any friction towards the ground at all? You'd have no chance. And that in itself would be enough to just want to fall on the floor and curl up in a ball. But then why do they have legs? If they can glide across the forest floor with ease like that, if they can, manipulate the elements somehow, why have legs at all? I have no answers for this. I have no answers, but I pray that I don't ever see the day where something unexplained, creepy as hell is moving through the forest like that to me, because that would be game over. I think my heart would just give up there and then on the spot. Now, luckily for me, the creature that I saw didn't walk like that. The creature that I saw walked quite normal, like me right now. It seemed like it had to abide by the same physical laws that I was. But That could be a telltale sign that there is more than one species, something that I've said for many, many years. We aren't just dealing with one species. A lot of people talk about the alien greys. It's more than that. There will be hundreds, thousands, if not millions, of races, cultures, beings, intelligence out there. And I say intelligence as though it's not physical, because there will be that as well. There'll be just orbs of consciousness that have no longer, they've outgrown the need of a body altogether. They're just floating orbs of consciousness and intelligence. And who knows, maybe they can morph into whatever they want, whenever they want. But there will be everything. The whole spectrum of what is possible will be out there. And some of that will have come here. So when one person gives me a story that differentiates from another story, both could be equally bang on the money. Both of them could be telling the truth. It doesn't mean that because there's deviations between one story or one encounter to the next that someone's lying.